Hello YouTube, welcome back to a new synth making tutorial. Today I'm going to try to show you guys how to recreate one of the Stranger Things synth patches used in the song called Kids. It's used in the first and second season, I think, and in the third one they did like a little remix, but you could still hear out the melody. If I just play you this project file, you're going to probably recognize it, so let's go ahead and play it. The synth we're going to make is the one in green here. This saw-ish synth. I used the synth Vacuum Pro. You could probably use any other synth because the most important part of this sound are these effects right here. The synth is very easy. It's just like a saw detuned with a bit of release. So any synth will do as long as it's like subtractive and not like FM or something. So let's start. Let's start with the amp envelope. We're just going to leave it like that, just add a bit more attack and some release. So now we have this sound. For the filter envelope, we're going to add again a bit of attack, reduce the decay to about 220 milliseconds, that's okay. And for the sustain, maybe 67, 65, whatever, that's okay. And some release. For the oscillators, the first one, we're not going to touch it. We're just going to leave it like that. But for the oscillator 2, we're going to add just some detune. And reduce its volume. Now let's move on to the low pass filter. So we're going to put a 21 dB filter. And reduce the cutoff. Add some resonance. And make it all the way to the envelope, just a little bit less actually, so you have a more round sound, and why not some key track if you want to play live. You can actually reduce a bit of the cutoff. On this synth they have an age box here. Basically it makes the synth sound old. If I just put more dust here to the max, we can hear it glitching out a bit. We're just going to add a little bit, and the drift is pitch drift basically. We're going to add a bit of that too. So I actually forgot something after I was editing. When you're making the synth, you can add this LFO2 modulating at like 15% the low pass filter, and you come on down here to the LFO2, the second one, and you put a rate at about 6.73, and it adds this cool effect. And for the synth, we're pretty much done. As I said, it's not that complicated. Now let's move on to the effect. First, we're going to add an EQ. You can use any EQ. I'll just use the stock EQ. First of all, we're just going to add a little high cut here because like the old speakers didn't have that much of a frequency range. So we're just going to do that low cut to make it sound more retro. Make little bell about 3100. Yeah, about here. If you want to split the basses, you add the low cut. If not, you can put it back and actually boost them a little bit. But if you want to split them, have the bass part doing on one track and the main melody on another one, like I did here. For this one, I have the bass here and the main synth up. You could do the low cut to make some room for the highs. Next, we can reduce a bit of the frequencies here. Actually make this a little bit more steeper. Yep, that sounds good. Alright, we got the EQ part okay. Next, we're gonna add some flanger. You could use any flanger again. So for the rate, we're just gonna speed it up and the intensity lower it. Feedback is okay, and reduce a bit of the mix. So now we got this. Alright. Now let's add some delay. It's a very subtle delay effect. It's just to make it bounce just one time. So I'll just use the stock Logic delay. I don't really know the tempo of the song, so I just put 500 milliseconds. I ticked off tempo sync and I just made it 505 is okay. There you go. Actually sync these two layers together, so if I modify here, it modifies there. put about like 700 and 190. So we don't hear the high frequencies again and again. To make it like more background-ish, right? And we're just gonna reduce the output and the feedback, the most important one. We just want very subtle, like 4%. Next, we can add the free plugin by Tokyo Dawn Labs called Kotelnikov for the compressor. And actually, we can put it before the delay. Yeah, let's do that. So let's just set up our compressor here. Threshold. See, now it's way too much. I think that's good. Reduce the ratio and add a bit of attack so it's not that intense. Some makeup gain. The final touch is the stereo width. I use this direction mixer. I want to make it more mono. I just put like 0.70. So here we go, guys. That's the synth. We're just gonna like combine these tracks and show you that it actually sounds like the same almost. It doesn't sound as good because I didn't split them up, but you get the idea. The thing you would probably want to tweak the most is in the synth, the decay of the cutoff envelope and the sustain. These change a lot the sound. I'm just going to show you guys a little bit. If you want to make transitions. Yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks you for watching and have a great day.